What's the deal, gang? What's up, everybody? How we doing? How are we doing?
Hey, good evening.
What's up, man? What's going on? What's everybody? See people here. Ziggy, Logan, Tank.
What up, Wick?
What's up, y'all?
How you
What's the
guys doing? How you guys
deal?
doing?
Doing alright. I'm fucking recovering from the last 2 days. Celebrating with my pops. And
Oh,
yeah, his birthday was on the 10th, but we didn't do much on the 10th, and then like the 12th, the 13th, Friday and Saturday, we partied. Fuck. Damn, I was supposed to meet up with somebody. I forgot. Damn, I'm just remembering. Now that we're talking, I was supposed to meet up with somebody on Friday. That was 2 days ago. Yeah, one of you guys. Somebody was in Miami. Somebody hit me up. I don't think he's on this session. He's on the New York session. I was like, yeah, I'm free Friday. I forgot to him. But I wasn't free.
16 people here just for now.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm not expecting too many people because you got the holiday for for New York. Hold on, I want to see what's going on in the charts. We'll bring you back on screen. Yeah, I was expecting the daily to rip up off the rib today. This came up, came down. We're in this little range, but the weekly held also. So I was expecting a drive up off the rip to continue down, because I think we're gonna need to grab a steeper bottom wick. So off the rip, I wanted a top wick on the daily, but I guess it's gonna. Guess it needed that little bottom wick first, and I don't know if we're gonna come up right now. We might still come back further down. We're stuck in this ugly range, which means that our first drive out of it can be a fake out. But I think this might have been it. It might have been it on a smaller time frame, right? Do we? Oh no, not really. Yeah, because we got this bottom wick here. This could have been the drive outside the range to come back in, but we've never closed below here, so I don't know. I think we're still ranging. Yeah, I was expecting a quieter session because of the New York holiday, but historically we get some pips. Like, the market tends to drive the last few New York holidays. When we were in the Asian session, it drove. It's the daily flip here. Yeah. Be patient here. If we get positions, it's going to be a bit later on, so probably after the 4-hour close. This is the first 4-hour candle right now of the week. Overall, in general, we're 2 hours into the new session, right? It's the only candle of the week. I'm sorry, it's the only candle of the day that has 3 hours in it, and we're in the last hour of that candle. I think I would want closures established above here. Or if we can close above here, maybe on the 30 or the 15 and come back in range for the 1 hour close, right? Then we can have, if that happens, the 4 hour will close bearish here. And then we can look for a top wick on the next 4 hour to continue down as the fake out coming up, coming back down in range. Off the screen. Right, so maybe if this comes up but closes like this, right, or closes a bit bearish, then on the next candle we could look for this and a flip back down in range. So it'll be interesting how we close here. See, it's trying to break up. It might still do that, right? It's only tapping it the first time. It might still break up, but that's why we can't be guessing here. Up, down. We have to wait. We have to react. Ranges are kind of tiny. This entire range here is 50 pips, 40 pips. Yeah, I see us sticking around between 50 and 43 for the evening for this session. Let's just make a decision on where we're going tonight. And I think I've seen this flip already. It flipped and came back down. It flipped for a moment. I see grabbed orders above there. Came back down. I do think though, if this hourly closes like this, no, I don't think that. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. We still technically should come up to 2050 to grab some orders. When you find support, typically at this area, as you're driving up, you'll tap here. See coming down from here. Let's drive up, tap that. And the following drive down from up there. I don't know. It's not as clear as I wish it was. There's very little range, right? Sometimes we can play the fill of the range here, but this range is so tiny that even a fill here with a bullish hourly candle, it's like 7-8 pips. We need to break out of this smaller range. Because what I think happens in that instant is the range opposite of it disappears, the resistance, right? Because right, we always go back to logic. And I say if we came up here and as far as we came down was this, right? Now if we jump into this area, right, highly likely we can erase this whole yellow line, because now that we've grabbed orders here and we come back in range, highly likely we drive through this. If we don't ever break this part and we come down and we jump into this area, right, this whole box from 2045, 2043, and then come back in range, then you can probably get rid of this area, understanding that now we've broke below it. Now we can drive further than this above it, right? So I think if you guys are still following me, if we break above here and close above and then come back in range, we could get rid of the 2045 level, because we're going to head down to 2043. It's going to be a clean drive down here. And if we come down and tap below 2045.9 and close below it, right, if we end up coming back down right now, right, and looking like this, right, if we close below it and start jumping back in range, we can probably now get rid of this candle, that line, understanding that now that we've grabbed orders where we couldn't before, we're going to come up further. So then you're expecting at that point now the fill of the range to at least 2050, right? That's what I expect. Something like that. All right, but first let's break out of this nonsense. And the nonsense I want to break out of first is 2049 to 2045. I don't know what's in the South Florida air, but I've been stuck in bed since Friday afternoon dying. Yo, honestly, I could not get up this morning, but that's because I drank yesterday. I'm not a big drinker. I'm a big smoker. I'm a little drinker. But yeah, I've been having a hard time getting out of bed the last few days. Previous 15 closed bullish, current 15 breaking that low. Previous 30 closed bear. What are we doing? Are we making a bottom wick for the 15 to continue up? Are we making a top wick for the 30 to continue down? You know what I mean? So you'll typically hear me say this, that you want these time frames to line up, especially if you're inside a range. Because if it's drive and it's drive, they don't line up. One of the time frames don't line up. You can still drive in direction of the market, right? But we've been ranging and pulling back for Asian session consistently for the last 3-4 weeks. So within the range, let's wait for our confirmations. Let's wait for the time frames to line up. Because if we create ranges in this area, we don't have too much information to the left telling us much, right? Well, we have too much information. Too many not enough confluences. Everything's in different direction. Like, believe me, if we printed bearish here, right? If this candle ended up printing bearish, and the 30 printed bearish, and the hourly printed bearish here, like this. Oh, whoops, wrong color. Right, at the end of the candle, right? Then this would, this would be bearish in every time frame, and at that point, the 4-hour will close, I think, bearish as well. Yeah. So what would happen is on the next time frame, I would wait for a break of the highs here to take my sell down for the wick. It would get a lot easier when every time frame is in the same direction. You just wait for a rejection off a resistance or a support, or a wick to the resistance or support. I mean, this is a good flip on the 30, right? So if the previous 15 was bearish here, like if the 15 closed like it is right now, not the previous, but the current 15, and then you look to the 30 and the 30 is like it is right now, then on the next 30, right, in 10 minutes, it's possible to have a sell, because at that point you'll have a bearish 15, you'll have a bearish 30, you'll have a bearish hourly that's already rejected off this resistance, right? So you're expecting a continuation down. You also have a 4-hour that flipped, created a top wick. Yeah, it flipped momentarily, but it still flipped, created a top wick, and now it's coming back down. So you don't have to really expect that flip unless you re-break the 4-hour low. Once the 4-hour low is broken again, then you can expect a reflip. But until then, you'd probably still have to come down here. The issue is this is the last 30 minutes or the last 40 minutes of this 4-hour candle. And it's the first one of the, right? First one of the year. And first one of the year, first one of the week, and we have a difference in direction here between time frames, 15 to 30 to 1. Yo. Tino. You here? This shit is 5,000 milligrams. I could smoke this till London. Damn. That's how I was in the store. I bought it and I was like, can I try it? He's like, yeah. I tried. He was like,
Oh, got me. I got bronchitis.
that smoke got me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was the 15 bullish flip. 30's driving bullish. The hourly's bullish here. We are no longer flipping. Can this 4-hour also close bullish above the range? To re-break out of highs. This is interesting. 6 minutes here for the first 30 of this hourly to close. Let's be patient. Don't try to get ahead of it. Yo, The Cowboys got fucking destroyed. Did you guys watch the game? I stopped watching after the first half. I mean, they came back, but they gave up damn near 50 points. That's crazy. About to watch the Rams. Coming up. I gotta be honest with you. When I turned on the streams today, I wanted to take a position right here off this 5 right there. But this is not ideal then to be at like 10, 11 pips in profit and then range here for the next hour and a half at 10 pips, 6 pips. Kind of glad I didn't take it. Yeah, and also I don't want to do it outside the stream. It'd be weird if I was just turning on the stream. I've been in a position here for an hour and a half, but I was looking at this because we came down off the rip initially. I thought we were making that bottom wick. It was like 7 a little earlier. What time was this? This was 7:20. No top wick on the 5, so the next 5 comes up, makes a top wick. Interesting. Wants to come up here really bad, right? All right, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, yo. How about no? Got a dumb question. I just want to make sure I'm on the same page as you. When you say bullish or bearish, we are just talking about like a green or red candle. If a candle closed bullish, it closed green. Yes. Or blue, whatever color you have. If a candle closed bearish, it closed red. Bears means just, you know where it comes from? It comes from how bears and bulls attack, right? So that's where the term bearish and bullish comes from. So if you think about a bear takes 2 hands and attacks down, right? That's why you call it a bearish pattern, because it comes down. A bull with its horns goes like this and attacks up. So you would think of a bullish pattern coming up. That's where it comes from, bearish and bullish, from how they attack. And so when the market's coming down, you say you're bearish. No, it's not a candle pattern. It's just overall in general, a generalization of either the candle is bearish, the market's coming down, the time frame is bearish, or bullish. So just little Snapple facts for you. I don't know why you're gonna need to know that. You're never gonna need to know, but yeah, just want to tell the difference between bearish and bullish.
Another new knowledge is unlocked now.
Yeah, a new fact unlocked. Follow me on IG for more useless facts. Can't wait to nail that one, a trivia word. Bro, your IG videos are always fire. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have suggestions on how I could make them even better, I'd like that. Because my IG videos get like, I don't know. They get more on YouTube. They get more like, they get like 4,000 or 5,000 views on YouTube. I'm trying to get like 1 million views.
Do you also post on TikTok, Wix?
No, I used to like a couple of years ago or like a year ago, but like I still have the account up there. I don't know what's going on with it. I haven't posted on there in like a year. But I have videos up there, yeah. I just haven't. I've done like 200-300 reels since the last time I posted there. All right, we had a 30 closure here, and it closed in range, respecting resistance. Yeah, every time frame closed below. To be honest, making sure the majority of the time frames align in the same direction has been a game changer for my swing strategy. I'm sampling. Awesome. I usually, like, honestly, I think that was one of the first pieces of advice that was given to me when I started. You know who gave me that advice? It's a long time ago, going back like 5-6. That came from Uncle Ted. He was like, "Look, man, just wait till your time frames are in the same direction." I was like, what? He's like, "Yeah, just make things easier for yourself. Just honestly, just use that as a rule of thumb." I'm like, huh. It's so interesting how like many people used to hit him up like individually, like outside of each other, not even thinking like that other people are hitting him. But now I'm learning that there was a bunch of people hitting him up for like questions. I was like, all right, I wasn't the only one. It's our daily flip. The issue here is we've never had a closure above, so it could drive as far as it want, all the way to the top for all I care. I'm gonna need it to close. First, we just opened, and this is the first, right? First 4 hour of the market open. Let's get this shit to close outside of range. If it does, we don't want to be stuck in a position here outside of range going back the other way. What I would love for this to do is actually come back the other way, come back down bearish. Before the hourly close. Because if it comes back down bearish, it becomes really easy to take the top wick sells off the next 4 hour if the 4 hour ends up closing bearish as well. right? On the fake out here, you can take a top wick entry if the first thing it does is open up with a top wick on the next 4 hour and the next hourly candle. But on a breakout here, if we close above, you can't take the bottom wick. We're gonna have to take the flip coming up because the bottom wick will be driving back into range and you don't know if it's a fake out. You guys understand? Or let me draw it out. Right? On a breakout, if this is how we close, we cannot take the bottom wick here because, right, this right here, we can't take that entry right there on the bottom wick, even if this is what we're expecting, right? Even if we're expecting it to come up, because that bottom wick, it doesn't ever have to flip. Doesn't ever have to flip. It really doesn't have to flip. It can just stay there, right? That bottom wick could just as easily turn into a candle closing like this. And then that's your fake out. So you can't take that wick, you have to take the flip, the bullish flip here to take you up to the range. But if this candle closes back in range like this, then it becomes really easy to take this top wick here if that's the first thing it does. Taking the top wick, expecting to come down, and if you're wrong, there will be a candle that does this to come up, or we'll do it in a different color. Right, there will be a candle that does this to come up, right? And you'll be able to get out anywhere within this area on the bottom wick, probably even in profit. So if we come back down in range, top wick entries on the next hourly. If we close above here, we're waiting for a flip. That's the difference. That was a dope drop. Did you guys hear that? Bring that back. That's fire. I don't know why I like that. That was dope. That was dope. Fucking weird like that.
It looks like it wants to tap 2050 areas.
Oh yeah, if it does that, I mean, we'll look for it to fill the wick because I don't think it's gonna stop at 2050. 2050 is just where it's a resistance which tells me above, below, where we can close or drive from, but it's not really the resistance area. The resistance overall is right here. This is where I would expect it to come up to 2053. But when it comes to closure or to driving off a candle, like the bottom wick driving off something, it is going to be this area. It's going to be 2050. So like these are different zones. Technically, this would make more sense. But I would like it to tap 2050, close above, and then come back down in range as well. That would be great. But if it doesn't, it's a really strong 4-hour close then. Look at this. We already grabbed orders, right? Look at this flip, bullish flip. Oh, we just got to wait on the next 4-hour candle to take us up. And we're going to need to make sure that we retest this area and attempt to come down here and fail, right, in order to come up. Full house tonight. Yeah, Bougie, where you at? Are you on camera? You're not even okay. How do I do this? This camera shit will fuck up the YouTubes. You eating off cam? Damn. What you eating? Got that in and out. Mac and cheese, chicken thighs, and rice and beef. You got to pick one of those. You can't be eating everything. Eating all of those things. Crazy, bro. Faux chicken thighs. You're a savage. Ratchet. Bougie. What's happening? What's happening? What's the deal, Peter? It's ripping, mate. Oh, what am I pulling? You gotta press the button. That's crazy how the Lions fucking had Stafford forever. And then they trade him and he wins the fucking Super Bowl with the Rams. And then the Rams had Goff forever. He's balling for the Lions, yeah. I don't know who to root for in this game. I think I'm going to root for Detroit because Stafford already got his. I want Goff to get. Aslan. Oh, he's about to the 10. I hate when they play zone defense. Oh, that was nasty. Touchdown. That was nasty. Yo, why is this thing fucking so bright? Shit lights up the room.
Wicks, I didn't even notice that shit.
And the pineapple?
Yeah, it's so bright.
The pineapple's bright as fuck. Look at me.
You can't even see it's a
Look at me.
pineapple.
Looks like I got a
That's
little
crazy.
green crown right now. It looks like I'm fucking, like I'm a saint. Saint Wicks. Saint Wicks 9. Oh. Where is this shit?
Somebody clip this shit. Post it on YouTube then.
Oh, we're fucking trying. Alright, let's do it again. Nope. It's rejecting us. Yeah, W, Speeve. We're sending that in. Last 15 here, this 4-hour. Wow. No top wick on the 15. Maybe we just continue up. Maybe it just keeps driving. But the no top wick here, I would say we have to pull back for the last of the 4-hour, right? Last 15 of the 4-hour. So if we are going to come up, there needs to be a top wick. So my understanding is wherever this drives, it'll have to pull back to leave a top wick. And also, the next hourly will need to give us a bottom wick. So don't be impulsive and buy when we're expecting a pullback. And if we pull back and never do come back up, then we'll be looking for sells. So let's be patient. Although that 2050 level kind of gave me confidence that it's a really good level that we marked off here prior, because we closed right at it with no top wick. So I'm pretty confident in the way that we drew that. Whenever you see closures right at your level or wicks right off of your level, it just should make you that much more confident that your level selection, right? The areas are on point. I'd still, though, expect a top wick, so this should still come up. No matter how it closes, it needs a top wick. Did expect to drive up. I hopped on, I was on Elvis's stream for about 5 minutes for market open at like 6 o'clock. I just wanted to see the market come up off the rip, but it didn't. I guess needed a bottom wick. I was driving. It's like, I'm looking for the market to drive off the rip. Oh, he fell! You fucking senior citizen looking at. Bro, Matthew Stafford needs a walker, a fucking wheelchair, a seat cushion. Bro, what the fuck was that? He forgot how to walk. You guys seen that shit? Sorry, I'm talking to you like you're all in my living room watching this game. Get him a cane. Fucking ARP membership. That was terrible. What are we mirroring here, chat, right? Can you guys kind of see it? Like, just not specific levels, just general, right? The big drive up, right? The big drive up, big drive down to here, big drive down to here. The drive up from here to this area, roughly where we are right now. Well, it actually came up higher, it came up right there, right? And what happens after it does that? Actually, no, we're right, it did, it came up. So let's clear it a little bit. It came up right here. This is the part of this story where we're at right now that we're mirroring. So let's be careful to not then mirror this drop. How do we make sure of that? We attempt to do so, fail, and then come up. You get paid to wait, right? We can wait here forever, but the 30 seconds that you'll be in the trade, or the 4 minutes you'll be in the trade, or the 20, like, that's not what you get paid for, right? You really get paid for waiting. Because that, like, that's execution, but majority of the work is done here now, getting to that level, getting to that. I know sometimes it's hard keeping yourself out of positions as well. It's like, damn, but like, I know it's going there, and then you see it go there, and you're like, fuck, I knew it, but like, did you really? Can you repeat this day in and day out? Like, if you can, then why haven't you been doing it? And if you're just getting to that area, then shit. Now start trying, start entering on that. But you don't want to go off the feeling that, oh damn, I knew it. You want to go off some data. Like, oh, this is played out this many times over this many trades. This way. After doing this and this and this. So if it did it after this and this and this, and these are my confirmations, did it do this here, this and this and this? If it did, and now it's doing, then shit, this workflow has to work. So let me use this workflow, or let me utilize it next time. Now it does this, this, this. I enter, and then this does this, 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 and I'm in the middle of this workflow that I know works. That gets from 1 to 6. Right, 1 to 5, it has 5 steps. It does 3, your entry step 4, it gets to TP, that's step 5 where it's supposed to finish, right? And you're like, yeah, if it did steps 1 through 3 and then it did steps 4 through 5, it's probably going to do 1 through 5 all the time. Now you just got to figure out what those steps are, right? What the workflow is in the setup. Right, there's a reason we say the market repeats itself all the time, and why we go off historical price data, because we expect it to act the same way at those points. Will it always do that? Not necessarily, but you know, that's typically your edge, where you know, market tends to repeat itself, and it doesn't just repeat itself, you know, just in acting the same way at specific areas. It repeats itself by, you know, by driving, by closing, by candle patterns playing out, and looking similarly to previous candle patterns. Like, it does it in all those things. And if you could spot like 3 or 4 or 5 of those things, it'll be pretty easy to tell what it's going to do next. You're going to sort of kind of spot a workflow of things that happen in the charts, and you're like, shit, after it does this, it does that, and then it does this. You figure out where your edge in that workflow is. Right? We used to take celery plays a lot, but now we get in way before the celery play even happens, being able to read the fact that a celery play is coming. So that's no longer an entry for us, but it's a reference point when we have a discussion that like, or when we're getting ready for it, that it's about to happen and we can get ahead of it. So we figured out the workflow of things, and now we're able to get ahead of the seller play and be in on a bottom wick before it ever breaks. Five minutes here for the 4-hour close. That was a nice touchdown. It's a good game, not for nothing. Or when I started trading, I'd be like this. All right, perfect. So we got this shit right here. You can't even see the damn candles. I don't know what the fuck is going on in that little area. I be scalping doing this shit.
To be honest, I learned everything from your guys' stream, like almost 100%.
So you never, you know, took the long.
I did like
Okay.
options for like a year, lost a shit ton of money, and then I saw my friend
No, but
got.
you're lucky. You're in the very small minority. But yeah, how did
Yeah.
you saw your friend do Forex?
Yeah, I saw him got funded with FTMO with a 25K account, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then told me what Forex was, and I just started researching on my own, and I found Daniel Savage, but he was streaming at like 2 in the morning, and he was like, oh, my favorite New York streamer is Controller FX, and then that's how I found Don, and been there ever since.
Cool. Very nice. Most unlikeliest of people brought you in here. Savage saved your life.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, he saved you a lot of time and money. I promise.
I didn't hear about anybody else besides Don and Daniel, and I was like, oh shit. This guy's doing it live for free? Let me tune in.
Yeah, I don't know if Savage streaming. I don't remember him streaming, but definitely saved you some time and money.
Yeah, he streamed for a long time, London session, but I was like, damn, look, why would I wake up at 2 in the morning to trade that? And then he's like, oh yeah, Controller FX is my favorite New York streamer. New York's way better than 2 in the morning.
For sure.
Yeah, same goes for me too. Except nobody told me about DVS, I just found it myself.
Yeah, that's the shit show that was going on before Devious, or maybe that's still going on around the industry. I don't know, but like from what I see is that a lot of people that don't really do this have stopped streaming. No, they haven't stopped streaming. They don't stream trading. They don't actually stream for trading purposes or take positions on stream, or like I don't know, they've gone into like other things like streaming and podcasts and all this shit. But in general, I feel like a lot of the fakeness, a lot of not even the fakeness, the misguidedness, misdirection in the industry has gone away with the fact well, since Don came in and then I started streaming, then everybody like I think a lot of the industry that wasn't really trading has kind of like took a back seat now, and so I swear I get DMs from all the Insta gurus that are like way bigger than whose account like have like 10, 15, 20 times more followers than I do. And they're like, oh, you're fucking killing it. And I think the reason they do that is because they realize they're not really doing it. Or they're not doing it that way. They might be doing it, you know, the social media way. They're not really trading their way through it. I think there's nothing wrong with it. Like, yo, I don't give a shit how you make a living. As long as, as long as you're putting food on your table, that's all that matters for you. But like for the people that are trying to find the right path and really the path to trading, right? You have to do your due diligence and figure out, you know, the social media versus, you know, versus the marketing versus the actual trading side of the industry.
You got to do your own due diligence.
Yeah, but it was a lot harder. Like 2024, it's a lot easier. Like there are tried and tested streamers out there. Like 2018, there was nobody. I started and I was like, yo, who the fuck? Like I've told the story mad times. I just used to email people and get like an email back. I'd be like, yo, what do you think about this trade right now that's setting up? 2 weeks later. Looks good. Like this shit was 2 weeks ago. First
4-hour close.
Oh yeah, we did close. Oh, and we closed above too, but we made a top wick first. So, oh. We broke the previous 15. That's very interesting. If we can break the highs, I wouldn't mind taking a position. If we re-break the highs, just make sure the highs are actually re-broken here. Right? We're either going to wait for that or a bearish closure back in range. So here's the deal. We must re-break the highs here on this 15. This 5, this 15. Because typically excuse me, as fast as it drives down, that's as fast as it'll drive up, right? And if it doesn't come back up and we stay down here, that's our liquidity grab to continue the drive down that I was just pointing out, right? That if we were to mirror something, what would we be mirroring here on the 30? Like, what does it look like, right? Remember, John, we came up to this area and then we had this drive down here. So can that happen here again? I don't know, but if we get a bearish closure back below 2049, or even a strong bearish closure here, and then the next wick breaks the top, we'll have to take a flip. We can't take a top wick entry here because the 4-hour closed bullish, right? But if we re-break the highs on this first 15, then we'll be gone. We're going to retest 2053 before it does anything else. So there, we can have buys, we can have sells. It's just depends what the market does. But there's volume. And how do I know there's volume? We broke out of the range, which typically sometimes we can't break out of a range on a regular New York session. We're in a Sunday Asian, we're breaking out of a range, so there's volume. If there was no volume, we wouldn't have closed above here. Now let's see if we drive down or we flip bullish. It's 5 So the 5 respected. The 15 right now is driving back in range. If the 15 closes bearish, we're looking for a top wick to come down. If we break the highs here, I'll be in a position. So be locked in here, right? Until the 15 closes, if we break the highs here, I'll be in a position. If the 15 closes bearish, then I'll have a hard time doing that. Oh, geez, another touchdown. That's crazy. At any moment here, we can rip out. Look at the previous 4 hours. So we're going to need some closure below ranges, or drives back into range, or a strong bearish closure. I believe we still need to re-break the highs here to confirm that we're not driving up. We need to re-break the highs and come back down, because at any moment this could be the bottom wick for the 4 hour and the hourly, and we can just be driving up. Started when we got into futures, started messing with everything. US 30, you just crap, kept finding myself coming back to gold. Yeah, you don't need more. I literally learned every single indicator. Yeah, they're all lagging. Yeah, so every single one. Bollinger Bands, Ichimoku clouds, fucking whatchamacallit, RSIs, EMAs, SMAs, MACD, USBC, everything. PMSNBC, I don't know.
Yeah, I would research them and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I was on Robinhood and Robinhood didn't have any of that. So I'm like, damn, I gotta download another app. You know what? I'd rather not.
Nah, I learned every single one and strategies on how to use them all in unison. Like different strategies. Like harmonics, forget it. Harmonics was wild. Harmonics was crazy, like, cause
Harmonics.
I seen like the biggest traders that I knew in like 2018, 2019, they were trading harmonics, like the most profitable, and then I realized they were all marketers. I was like, I knew this shit don't work. Fuck. I spent so much time studying it. Maybe it does, I don't know, but to me it didn't. Hold on.
I'm sure it doesn't. If you look up the last video on it, the last popular one is like 5 years old.
Yeah, that's when this shit was popular, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I started. I remember when I started, the dude that was like one of the dudes that was like showing me things, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "2021 is your year. You're gonna be you're gonna be a multi millionaire from trading. 2021. 2021 comes, I'm like, yo, how am I fucking 150 grand in the hole? This is possible. A bit delayed for me. Oh, it wasn't even 2021, it was 2018. So yeah, it was 2020, 2019, and then 2020. It was like, yeah, 2020, yeah. It's like, that's 2020 vision year. I lost so much money. 18, 19, 20. 2018 I didn't lose much. 19 and 20 I lost a lot. 2018 I was just like learning shit and just getting the hang of it, and like I only started trading like September. I really started, opened up an account, but like I started really trading like December, like placing decent trades, and then it was a wild ride for 2 years after that, 2.5 years. But I feel like every trader needs to go through those first couple of years of being humbled.
Well, that's your experience, and you and Don are just spent so many years, you know, have got so many experience, and you guys are putting it all, like combining it and, you know, compressing it and giving us to, like, you know, this. I don't think your students, people who learn from you, spends that many years to be profitable, because you guys make it so simple.
Oh yeah, the shortcut. Well, that, you know, honestly, now that all the information that is proven over the years of streaming and journaling, and it's all compiled in one location, it should definitely, it saves the entire time of getting all this information from different sources and putting it together, because we've kind of put everything together where it works. It makes sense, where it's explainable, right? And like, there's a reason why I take every trade. It's never like, oh, I feel like it here, or like I think. No, there's a reason. I have confirmation, and there's a reason for closures, right? A lot of times in drawdown, like yeah, well, I see it's gonna go more in drawdown, but I wait for confirmations, because it's the same. You know, a closure of a position is the same as taking it, right? You're just taking a position the other way. It's got to go off, right? Off something tangible. I don't know, like something that makes sense, something that exists, right? Not something that I feel like. So now that we've put all those things, right, into sort of a system, I guess, and brought it all here in all one place, it saves you a lot of time. But I think the work is still on you. A lot depends on your approach, because a lot of people, you know, show up and they do fuck all. Like, and they just wait for us to call positions, and that's fine. But eventually, if you really want to take your own trading to the next level, like, you got to show up. You got to put in the work. You got to take the positions. I
Take
think
your own positions.
Yeah. But I think the learning curve is definitely, you know, is definitely shortened.
Yeah, there's this one thing Don said that keeps me from blowing my account, and what he said was, I'm gonna reach that level. I'm gonna get those millions. I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire. If not tomorrow, then the day after tomorrow. If not this year, then the next year.
Yeah.
There is nothing to rush. Yeah.
I mean, it's a byproduct, right, of being good here. It's a side effect, really, of what you're trying to achieve, which is the most optimized, best version of yourself. This is interesting how we're driving here, and might just drive through, but we have 90 seconds here for this 15. It's a long 90 seconds, man. This happened to us last week, I think, once. Because I really want the rebreak of the highs, and the 30 looks amazing. Right? But it's the last minute of this 15, and I don't have any confirmation. It might close, let's say it breaks up, and then closes no top wick, and then next candle rips down. So these 60, this is going to be a long 60 seconds if you guys are going to look for this candle and look for entry, but it'll test your impulses. It'll still probably drive. What's the 30? The hourly. Hmm. $40 on this 15. See what happens. Okay. So the 15 closed bearish below the range. Can we get a top wick? Can we flip here on the 30 and come back down? So is this the 30 drive? Or the 15 top wick? I would say it's the 15 top wick based on the way the 15 has come down and closed here. So the reason I'm not taking a sell here is this top wick, we never rebroke the highs. At any moment we can fail to drive down and drive up here, rebreaking the highs. I want to break these highs here with a top wick. There are things that have to happen for me to get in a position. If we can break these highs, we need to not just flip on the hourly, we need to break the highs on the hourly. Now if we can do that and then flip back down bearish, then we can be in some bearish positions, some sells. Right, and the reason I can't take buys on the hourly flip here or break of the highs is because the 15 closed back in range. So we would need to come up, close back above range on the 5, 15, get a bottom wick, breaking the previous 1530, and then a drive up. That'll be our entry. Just certain price points have to be tapped. We have to re-break the highs for me to understand that it's not a drive up, because once we break the highs and we flip back bearish, it's not a drive up. We're coming back into range. But if it breaks the highs and never does come back bearish, then we're bullish and we're going to look to finish out the range to 2053. See, it made that top wick first. Came down, broke the lows, gave you the bottom wick on the 15, on the 30. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not in a position here, chat. It might drive through here. There's a lot of momentum, but I'm not in a position here. Where if it closes strongly bullish, I might be. The previous 15, the reason why I'm suspicious here, the previous 15 closed back in range. It should have closed a little bit above it. If it's going to respect it, close bearish, but a bit above it. Now I wait for a 5 or a 15 closure above here and then to finish the range. And if it drives through here, then it'll drive through. Glad to watch it drive. Yeah, but with momentum, like this, I would be surprised that it comes back down. Let's just get a closure and we'll finish the drive out. You know what's interesting? On the broker, this respected. I'm looking at the broker and this this candle actually respected right here. It's not like that. It's not as high over here. If it was like that here, I think we would have been in positions here. But I trade off TradingView. I don't trade really off what goes on in my broker. I don't even look at the charts, but I just double check. And that closed above. It's like this, but right here it actually closed above. That's our range. Yeah, that's our range. That's the daily range that I wanted to fill for Asian. Bugs. Okay, if this 15 flips bearish, we'll be in positions. If this 15 closes bullish and it closes above 2052.1, then we'll wait for a bottom wick and look to fill the wick from here to here. It's about 17 pips. But it's going to need to leave a top wick with enough range. It's going to need to close bullish on a 15. Wow, this is a good position too. The fact that people are actually out there making Bollinger Bands work. I mean, you know what it does? It makes it, like, I think when you're learning, it makes it easier, like, to train your eye. But then over time, you get used to the bands themselves instead of looking at the market or the candles. Yeah, 5 close, no top wick. This is really a good range. Open the door. Open what door? Oh, that might have been a while
You
ago.
already did? Yeah. He's in yeah, he's in Zoom. Wow, for an Asian session, this is a very good volume.
It's a lot of volume. I
agree.
I can't say I'm surprised though. Like, honestly, this is the reason I continue and don't take the day off for today, because every time when New York does this, when New York has a holiday, the Asian session moves. Like the last couple of years, I think that's what's been happening. I mean, it's gonna range here. Like, to be honest with you, it's gonna come up here in range. It's gonna create a range at around 2054, 2056 area. Because for it to come down, like, this is a strong push. It would have came down on this bottom wick, but now that it drove up here and filled the range, it's gonna have to create a smaller range and then start coming back down, or create a smaller range. After a push like this, you'll typically see a few small candles and then drive. Most likely we finish out to 2058, 2060, but how? I don't know yet. I believe after we create a range. See, close no top wick, the previous one. This one's a small candle. Like, it's gonna range here for a little bit. Gotta grab your girl at the airport. Alright, later. Can't believe you chose your girl over us. No dedication. No loyalty. Wow, that's annoying.
Previous daily high is 2062, right?
Yeah, but I'm not expecting it to go up there right now. I'm expecting it to come back down and find a support. There's pretty strong areas of resistance here, and if it just continues driving, then I'm not gonna be in anything. But if it does come down and find a support and drives off a support, then yeah, good entry here. That gave you about 30. Oh, and it's halftime. I mean, let's see if it continues pushing. We'll see if we can get in there, but I mean, there's room to come up. It's just we need indication that, or I need a confirmation of it coming up, or of a good entry. That's crazy. I was just looking at my conversation, at my texts, and then I looked at my conversations. I don't have a single phone call from any of my actual friends in like since like November. That's crazy. People know not to call me. I'm fucking busy. I got texts. Got a bunch of texts. I got no phone calls.
Well, I guess they know that you have family and all those stuff going on. Why would they bother you?
I've kind of I've taught them, right, to kind of how I live and to respect my timing. I was looking for this bottom wick here, Chad. If we can come down here, I'd say roughly 2051. I'll take a buy if we can do that on a bottom wick here, but it looks like it's driving. Yeah, this could drive all at once. I can't enter anywhere here.
Crazy volume here. What the hell?
Oh, it's good. We like, I don't know. Off the broker, it looks perfect. It looks ideal. This closure here. Like, I don't know. So off the broker, it looked like this, and then any break of the high here is good. But I know where the entry should have been in the, if we would take advantage of that move, and like it's not here. Like there's no entry here. There's nothing here. There's... You're gonna see a small candle closure here. If it keeps dripping, great, but a small candle closure is typically what you'll see here. See it create a small range. Remember we said between 2054 and 2056 somewhere, so it's kind of stayed in there. And then it'll give an indication of when it wants to do. I'll be here for about 15-20 minutes, I think, longer than the stream actually goes. See if we get something. If not, then call it. That push gave you indication of volume and direction. Let's see if there's any more indication. Which means you would need to come down, break back into the range here, and stay up above.
Here is the volume song.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't take it up right now. I want us to establish a support here. Or drive back down in range. But I don't want to drive up, otherwise it's just, we won't have any positions today.
Yeah, it's still a W stream.
Oh, Jules, no. That's not from, that's from, no one said anything. That's from a Thursday stream. That was from the last stream of the Asian session. Of last week. There's a mosquito flying around here. It's just biting me everywhere. I gave him a name too. I call him Eddie. I swear, Eddie. I started calling this guy Eddie. Edward, actually.
Damn, dude. Mosquito.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with you. We weren't thinking of you. Now that I think about it, that you're on here, it's kind of funny. But I called him Edward. It came from like an old school Russian joke where a mosquito's name is Edward. So I gave him.
What are you trying to kill him and he doesn't die?
I don't remember. I don't remember what the joke was. I remember there was a mosquito named Edward, and it's like famous, so everybody knows like about a mosquito named Edward. So I gave him a name. His name is Edward, but in real life, he's like a fucking cat. I think I've killed him already, and he's come back. Because I've looked him in the eye before, and it's the same motherfucker that I looked in the eye before, or into all.
Eddie Lives Jr.
Boy, Eddie lives, Junior. You don't
Yeah, Eddie
die.
came back for revenge.
You don't die. Yo, I got a welt on my hand. I don't know. I gotta be allergic, cause like every single bite swells up like I don't know what. Damn it. It's 5 close, no bottom wick. Can we establish a support here? How much is it to the highs? Would I wait for the hourly to close? Not necessarily. It depends on what happens in the 5 and the 15. Let's see if we can establish support. What you talking about, Bush? Oh, you're talking about League of Legends. Never mind. NM.
Wow, being patient saved us from a lot of drawdown.
Well, depends. I mean, if you got ahead of the buys here, you could have been in some decent, really good buys. I honestly would have been in buys if it looked like this. We would have been in on the break of the highs. But there's a chance we could have more buys. If we establish a support here, get some bottom wicks, we can have more buys. Or if we break back down into range, it would probably take another few hours, maybe the next 4 hour even. Because if you think about it, to come back down, you're gonna need the higher time frame start closing against you, or to start closing bearish. And then if you look at the higher time frame, market typically doesn't just drive down, so you won't get a runner here. You might get 10, 15, 20 pips, no chance to run. Market will retest the highs, grab orders, and then eventually drive down. So ideally we can find a support and drive up, because there's a better chance for us to get a bigger position or to continue up than for the market to start reversing. But for that to happen, for me to get an entry, we need a support here. This isn't pretty either over here. No man's land. Something similar to this. See how we broke above here? But you see how it took like 3 or 4 candles to then form that support. And once it formed the support, next closure above, bullish closure. Hold on. Yeah. Bullish closure. Then you can understand support was found. And you can take this off the rip to take it to 58. Find a support, closure back above, you take it off the rip to 58, and then it makes its decision. So, as it's creating this range here, something similar to this, I gotta stay out. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, all these lines got this shit looking like a football field. Football Sunday. He could go all the way. Here's the deal, chat. If the hourly closes any kind of way above 2053, if the next hourly drives straight down, I'm gonna have a bottom wick entry, and that entry will be around, if we can touch 2051.53. If we can tap that area, I'll take a buy there on the bottom wick. But if it just drives up and breaks the highs off the next hourly, then I'll call it a session. But if it can do that in the first part of the next hourly, right, first 15 minutes, then I'll take those buys, expecting us to at least tap that area again before coming down. It's gonna have to hold here though. If it fills the range in the next 5 minutes, then we're gonna need this hourly to leave a nice deep wick. Give me a sec, chat. Shit's ripped up 80 pips in our session. Guess the Asian volume's back. We've been ranging for weeks. This is a drive. It's not even a pullback. This is the drive. Hope this continues the rest of the week. Will you look for entry tomorrow morning? I'm still looking for entry on this hourly close. I want to see how we close. I think I called this on Friday, so just 459 tonight. Right. Just buy a bunch of gold. I see it open up with a gap to the upside. It didn't. It just opened up, grabbed those orders, and then drove. Said on Friday, right? Oh, just open up $100 account, 459. Take buys, full margin in. Thing is, with all the things going on Friday, I thought the market was going to start absorbing it as it opens, and we were going to see a massive spike up, but we didn't. We're seeing the drive up. We didn't really see the spike off the open, but we're witnessing the drive. Okay, let's see how this hourly close. We got 10 seconds here. Closes no top wick. I'm gonna call this session. That's fucking whack. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a session. What the fuck? A great area to close, fine. Just leave a top wick, or even if it pulled back, then we can have the advantage of taking a bottom wick entry. But I can't do anything here. It tells me there's no range to come up with a massive bullish drive. So do we range? Do we just drive through with no indication that we're going to continue? We closed above with no top wick. So this candle is going to have to come up, make a top wick, and hold support before any entry. So you're going to need at least another 30 minutes to 40 minutes probably. Apparently there are bad numbers coming out this week. W Sunday, yeah, I'm not too impressed. I think we should have been in positions there. I'm just kind of annoyed the way it printed here versus the broker. I truly think we should have been in positions with everything at around 2051, 40 to 50 pips. Typically it's the other way around. The broker will do some fuckery, but Oanda is like printing great. Yeah, I gave 50 on the dot. The reason I'm not too upset, I just think we could have had more out of the session, but I'm just not too upset because like it's gonna set up. Whether it's gonna be in a few hours from now, 3-4 hours, right? Go chill or you know, go sleep as I'll do probably. I'm actually tomorrow's no school for the kids, so the younger two are sleeping already, but the older one is sitting there waiting for me to finish up here so we can go watch a movie. I promised her we'd watch a movie. So yeah. We're gonna go watch The Conjuring. Actually, no, we're gonna go search up some like scary movies on Netflix. Any recommendations?
The Wicks candle story.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I gotta make that a reel. I gotta hit up my guys. I'll make that a reel. I completely forgot about that. So, here's the deal. Candle close, no top wick. You need range, right? So you can have, you should wait for another candle to print the top wick here before taking any buys. So if you're gonna do that, it's okay if it's a 5-minute candle that does it, or a 15 or a 30, even though it's the hourly that closed with no top wick. It's okay if the smaller time frame candles give you that top wick. Just have to realize that the range has been created, and then you're looking to tap a support to fill that range, right? So on the small time frame, you create a resistance, a support, and then right, it's a range, so you're looking to fill the range. So any top wick that you get here, right, small time frame range, then you'll look for it to come down. It'll come down, form a support somewhere here or here, and as it does that and it gives you a bullish indication, you fill the range. Okay, but it all has to set up again. And this is the 5 I'm looking at, right? But overall on the hourly you don't have that top wick, so don't wait for the flip here. Don't take it as the drive, because it highly likely still comes back down in range because of the previous hourly no top wick, and you don't know if it goes up 5 pips, 15, 40, or 3 and drives back down. Wait for this top wick to be established, wait for a next candle to reject off of support, and then you can take your buys. There's nothing here stating we're going to reverse. All we have done is close with no top wicks, indicating that we might range here and then come up. Just like many successful people too, you need a group of motherfuckers that do literally all they can to conquer the world. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Don't look to do that. Don't look to build the group. Don't pack, because I don't want to say this in a bad way, but at the end of the day, everyone's out to just for themselves, I guess. Makes it sound so terrible, but I've experienced it. There are plenty of friends who I thought I would, grow up with and make a bag with, and it would be all about coming up with them, or if I'm coming up, I'll make sure they come up with me. And some of them came up before me, they're way better off way before me, and I was like, yo, What's up? And they were like, well, what do you need? You know what I mean? And for me, it was always about coming up and then just putting my hand down and bringing everyone else up. And then I realized like it's not about that for people. People got their own shit going on. At some point, they're gonna look out for themselves, not for you. So it's up to you to look out for you. It's not just in trading. Life is a solo game, right? You can build a pack, you could build a team of like-minded people, but at the end of the day, everyone's hungry, everyone wants to eat. And like once they eat, then they're like, all right, you can, you know, no one's really gonna make sure you eat before them unless it's your parents. Only your parents will look to feed you before they eat. Everyone else will always eat before you, no matter how good of a friend they are, you know what I mean? So when it comes to that, you have to look out for yourself. Yeah, it's creating this bit of a top wick here, right? So just wait for candles to drive up a bit higher or close and then find a support. And if it closes bearish or weak bearish, right, respecting this little area or doji, then you could probably look for a bottom wick on the next hourly candle at around 11. Yeah, as for me, turning on the camera and just listen. Sorry, don't talk about trading channel, just all live. Of course, trading can be a solo game, but I think I need a group to have the best live ever. You need a group of like-minded individuals. That's the thing. And it's what are the chances of you being born in the area where and growing up with like-minded individuals? Yeah, you have things that keep, you know, common denominator, and it's because you come from the same hood, or like there's things in common because you all live together, right? But the chances of people around you with the same drive and the same vision and the same goal, it doesn't have like, there's a reason like you know, Don and I like we click, right? We have this same trading thing, but the whole dudes in Toronto, it's very unlikely like you get a pack of people around you that are around you, right? And everyone else here, right? Like people like you, if we're more like-minded at this moment, like I probably have more in common with you guys than like any of my real world friends, right? Like even the conversations will probably be like more in common at this point, I think. And like, why would I build a pack of people, you know, why would I build something with people, like with those people, with my actual real life friends, if they don't have the vision that you guys have? The results, right? The results of building something with somebody with a similar vision are going to be much better. It's just life is naturally like that, I think. Most people change after the money hits. Absolutely, I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that. I got friends who I've bailed out of jail like multiple times that made a bag and forgot I exist. You know what I mean? Plenty. Like, I got friends I did dirt with growing up, right? That I would never even think about leaving behind. Like, if I was gonna have, you know, $1, they were gonna have 50 cents of it. But when it was the other way around, it's like, so certain realizations hit you as you grow up, that life is not exactly what you have, you know, what you think it is in your head. Shit, relationships aren't what you think it is in your head, right? Relationships with people, with friends, at work, like what you might be thinking in your head is not what it really is in real life or to other people. You at the door? Hank, I'm about to close out the stream, Hank. Kind of late. But like the road to the next level is lonely, right? But when you always get to the next level, there's a new new group of people at that next level, right? It's just that weird area between the previous level you were at and the next level that you're getting to. It's like a weird, you know, strange zone. But once you get to that next level, you won't have the time to worry about what was at the previous level. You'll be too concerned about maintaining where you're at and moving on to the next level. We had last call next Sunday. Yeah, you see no top wick, no range. Top wick created on this candle. Support created. So, as you see this area here, yep. Can you get a 15 or a 30? I'm gonna wait this 15 through, see what happens. If it closes bearish but above here, I'm gonna look for the next candle bottom wick very similar to what happened here. The issue here is this area was below the resistance. This area was above the resistance, but oops, that printed ugly. That closure. So this you couldn't take. This you could have took, and we want this to set up like this. And it would be higher. It would be like this. There we go. So this is as bearish as it needs to close. And then we would need a break of the lows here. Ideally, if we can tap 2055.4 on the next candle without coming up and breaking the high, then we can take buys. When you clear space and bandwidth, it allows for new people. Yeah, yeah. You know, I think that's the biggest issue with people is bandwidth. Scientifically, or overall, just in general, in all aspects. I think we lack in bandwidth. Fresh in the hairs, that's how my belief system is. So often been disappointed. Ask friends how they make it, and they will just avoid and tell me what next holiday they're going. So that closed below on the 15. So you're right, you'd expect the top wick. You'd expect the top wick on this 15 and come back down in range. But if that doesn't happen, you can't take the sell on it, but you can wait for it not to happen. Right, so you would expect this 15 to come down in range, but you can wait for it not to happen and close above 2056.19 on the 30. If that happens, maybe you can get a drive down, break the lows, and then a flip is your entry. I also see when it closed below here while driving up, right? Where did it tap, right? You see that closure above? I know we came back down in range, but not before it tapped here. Right? So that's where your next resistance, where you're looking to go. And that's roughly 26, 20 some pips. So let's see if we get a bottom wick. That 15 actually closed not too bad. We just need to drop down in range here and then flip. If it breaks the highs though, then I'm gonna call it. If it breaks the highs before creating a bottom wick, then I'll call it. Is the market only closed tomorrow for New York? That's right. The New York banks are closed. You could trade it. I mean, the algos are running it anyway, if you want. But like, historically, they say don't trade holidays because it'll range through them. But honestly, the last few holidays, the market's fucking moved. And you know, just price action is price action. But we don't trade on bank holidays because overall, like, yeah, you can, but you want to put yourself into the highest, into the best possibility to succeed, right? You want to put yourself where good luck can find you. And the best possible situation would be during a high volume time, during when market is open, right? Where there are catalysts for the market to drive. So those are the best times to be in the market. That's why I avoid holidays, but it's only a New York session holiday. So I probably won't trade New York, but I will trade Asian session. It will be live tomorrow for Asian session. It'll be a public session. I respected this, but I don't really consider that. Didn't break the highs yet either. Let's see. So you trade tomorrow morning? No, no, I'm not trading tomorrow morning. I'll be trading tomorrow evening, Asian session.
Hello.
Who's there? Who's yelling hello?
Oh.
Yeah, I won't be in any positions here if it wants to drive up here. I need a bullish closure and a break of the lows for a bottom wick. And the 15 is alright here, but the next 15 didn't give a bottom wick here. So. And the previous 30 also no top wick, right? So. But we did create this top wick. So if you get a bullish closure here on a 15, bullish closure here on the 30 as well. Top wick created. I think you can have a buy on the next 15. Don't want to take a buy on this 15 because we've had no bullish closure, and at any time this can be a top wick to drive up. I mean to drive down. And that's what I want to avoid. But a bullish closure will establish a support, right? A bullish closure will establish a support here, and then you break the lows and attempt to drive down, and then the wick is the flip is your entry. I just want to hop off here and then have a position 5 minutes after stream. I'm gonna be annoyed. It's happened so many times. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna call it here, but if there's a bullish closure and a bottom wick to break these lows, I can look for a buy on the flip. If it drives up now, like it's great, yeah, it looks good on the higher time frame, but I'm not confident in it with especially the previous hourly closing, no top wick. Yeah, if it pushes, so call it. Oh, they got Barry Sanders at the game. The GOAT. Re-breaking the highs. Had a buy stop at 51.5. That was a good buy stop. Hindsight is 20/20, huh? That's the entry we're talking about. That 21.5, that was the only entry for tonight that I think was valid. Nothing else would have convinced me of an entry. This needs to break its own low. There's no drive up, or there's no entry up for us without this breaking its own low. $20 seconds for the 5 minute. Oh no, the 5 minute closed. It closed below. I'm sorry, that was the 1 minute. Awesome. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna call it a session here. I'm not good with this. If I want entries up here, I want it off a bottom wick off after a bullish closure. There's no bottom wicks on any of these fives. That's why I dropped down, right? We had a bullish closure on the 5. Fine. Great. Found support here. Let's get a break of the lows to drive up. To get enough orders to finish out the range off one drive. Not trickle up. And hasn't happened so far. Maybe a When do we get a 30? 3 minutes here? Alright, chat. Last candle, I promise. This 30 here. If we get a bottom wick here to break the previous 30, I'll look for entries to come up. There's not even a lot of range here. It's very little range. This would be great if we can close doji here. Because the doji candle, we can pretty much wipe out. In this case, it went nowhere. It's an indecision candle. But it's an indecision candle that created some range above the previous candle that had no top wick. If we don't get a bottom wick, we break the highs first. So like I said, I'll call it again. Let's see if we can get a bottom wick here. We need something to break the previous 30 low. We break the highs, the previous 30, and then start coming down and break that low. I'm going to take it as we grab the orders to continue down. Damn. This is like asking a woman what she want to eat tonight. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. What do you want? This is crazy. Stop being so indecisive. Let's go. Okay. Probably gonna call it a session here, but I wanna just show you. So, when the market drives for a long time, this is how it finds a range. This is a really good example. I've been looking for this all night, but this is how it finds a range sometimes. This is the closure above, which brings you into a range. This is the retest of the low that creates top and the bottom of the range. And now in order for you to take positions here, you would need to retest these lows after they're established, after you've made a high, and then close back into a range as it's done here, right? So you have a retest of the lows, closure above, and you can take those buys. So very similar to what will happen here. Right here, you broke above into a range. You need to come down, establish a support, drive up, establish the top of the range, and then come back down, find it, establish the support to drive back up. I think I might have repeated that twice just now. So you're actually getting that kind of on the 15. Yeah, so similar, broke above, found a support, filled the range, right? If now this comes back down, taps this area after it closes above here, right? So maybe in the shape of a bottom wick. So you're gonna see a drive down, right? Closer here above. You see how these things have to happen, and then you're gonna have to, after you find that support here and you retest the low of the range, you can probably take an entry here or on the flip, expecting the continuation up. But that's typically how these ranges will print, right? So just look out for that. Yeah. Other than that, I'm gonna call it a session. It's not even typically how these range. That's the wrong wording, wrong choice of words. It is where your edge is, right? It's if this range ends up printing like that, that is where your edge. Once you establish a support here and then break that low to drive back up into the range. And if it's below a higher time frame resistance, a lot of times it's good because you'll have room to buy into a resistance where it'll have to make a decision, create some top wicks before coming back down into range. Yeah, but I'm gonna call it a session here because like we'd need to see like 3 or 4 more candles for me, you know, to take a position. All right, gang. I'll see you tomorrow for Asian session, same time, same place. I don't know if anyone else is I don't think any of the rest of DVS is streaming because of the New York bank holiday, but we'll be on 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And if this drives now, like I wouldn't have confidence or a position in it unless we retested these lows here. It could drive, but that's not where my edge is. Maybe your edge is there, but my edge would be once we retest these areas again. All right, that's my time. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I think we should have a lot of volume. I think we should have a lot of volume, like, not because we're driving today, but I think if New York ranges and then markets open back up for Asian, we should have all the volume that was sitting there throughout the day for algos. Also, if the market cycles have switched up a bit and now we're getting volume earlier, if today's any indication, right, then maybe the moves aren't coming at 11, 12. Now they're showing up at 8, 9. That'll be really good for us. And you'll see the market cycle switch up throughout the months. As like for 2 months, 3 months, you know, a few weeks straight, you'll get trades at a certain time in the stream, and then they'll start showing up earlier, and then it'll reverse again. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's our session, and just like that, another Asian sessions in the books. Good night, everybody.
Night,
Thank
night.
you guys for joining me.